if I told you that groundbreaking textile recycling technology can now turn your old jeans into new clothing in an infinite loop, while simultaneously fashion brands are still destroying millions of pounds of unsold clothing? Or that waste workers in multiple countries are walking off the job and demanding basic dignity, while others are dying from preventable workplace injuries? Welcome back to Environmental News, the good, the bad, the ugly. I'm your host, Stacy Savage, aka the Texas Trash Talker, founder and CEO of Zero Waste Strategies. And today we're deep diving into three critical environmental stories that showcase both the promise and the peril of our current moment. In the next 15 minutes, we'll explore revolutionary breakthroughs in textile recycling, examine the global crisis facing waste and recycling workers, and uncover the complex reality of plastic bag legislation worldwide. But first, I want to let you know about something really exciting. My new book on helping families be more sustainable in the household and save on the monthly budget is now available for download on Kindle. It's packed with actionable strategies for each room of your home and how to throw low waste events and zero waste family vacations, as well as some organic recipes in there too for beauty products. So I will go ahead and share the link in the comment section as well. So if you're getting value from this show, this is episode 8. Please subscribe to my Substack for deeper dives into these types of topics. And don't forget to sign up for my monthly business Zero Waste newsletter. It's free and it's filled with practical tips that you can implement immediately for your business. Now, let's get on to the stories. Topic 1 is textile recycling and pollution. The good story here, remember we have the good, the bad, the ugly for each topic. I'll go over the good, the bad, the ugly stories that I've found across the world relating to that topic. So the good is BASF and Inditex breakthrough with circular nylon. So this is a genuinely revolutionary news story from the textile world. BASF and Inditex announced a major breakthrough in textile to textile recycling with Loop Made, the first circular nylon 6 entirely made of textile waste. This is a complete game changer. And here's why this matters. Nylon is one of the most challenging materials to recycle in the fashion industry. It is everywhere, from activewear to outerwear to hosiery. But until now, most nylon products have been destined for landfills or incineration. Inditex aims to have 100% of its textile products made exclusively from materials with a smaller environmental footprint by 2030, with 25% made from next generation materials. This breakthrough puts them on track to achieve that goal while creating a truly circular system for one of fashion's most problematic materials. The implications are massive. If this technology can scale, we're looking at a future where synthetic textiles never become waste. They just keep cycling through the system indefinitely. Now, the bad news is that EU's textile collection mandate faces implementation crisis. By January 1st of 2025, EU countries were supposed to be required to ensure separation of collectible, recyclable textiles for reuse, preparing, reuse, and for recycling. So this covers everything from clothing and accessories to blankets, bed linens, curtains, footwear, mattresses, and carpets. Sounds pretty comprehensive, right? But the problem is that the council postponed setting concrete waste management targets for textiles until 2028 and did not endorse a global accountability framework to support regions affected by used textile exports from the EU. So we not only have a collection mandate that has no targets, it also has no accountability, and it doesn't address the fact that much of Europe's textile waste just gets exported to developing countries. So Europeans are using nearly 57 pounds of textiles and discard about 24 pounds annually individually. So 80% of used clothes are being incinerated or landfilled. This is a classic policy theater crisis. This creates the appearance of action while failing to address the fundamental issues. Now, the ugly news: massive textile destruction before products even reach the consumer. An estimated 4 to 9% of all textile products put on the market in Europe are actually destroyed before use, amounting to 264,000 and 594,000 tons of textiles each year. Let that sink in. We're not just talking about consumer waste. We're talking about hundreds of thousands of tons of perfectly good clothing being destroyed by brands before it even reaches store shelves. Meanwhile, discarding clothing often ends up in low-income countries where lack of waste management infrastructure leads to dumping and burning and severe environmental and social consequences. Now, we've created a system where wealthy countries produce more clothes than they can sell. Then they destroy the surplus, and then they export their used and damaged clothing to countries that don't have the infrastructure to handle it. It's an environmental disaster. It's environmental colonialism at its worst. Moving on to topic 2, which is worker rights in waste and recycling. The good news here is that Philadelphia's waste workers have won an historic contract victory. So in June of 2024, Philly's waste and recycling workers, members of AFSCME, AFSCME District Council 33, secured a historic contract after months of negotiations. The agreement included significant wage increases, improved safety protections, and better health benefits for over 2,000 sanitation workers in the city. So more importantly, it establishes new protocols for handling hazardous materials and mandatory safety training programs. This win came after workers documented dozens of preventable injuries and highlighted the health risk that they were facing daily from exposure to toxic materials, sharp objects, and dangerous chemicals in the waste stream. The Philly victory for these sanitation workers is very significant because it demonstrates that when waste workers have a strong union representation and public support, they can achieve meaningful improvements both in wages and working conditions with municipalities that employ them. The bad news: Teamsters sanitation workers strike against Republic Service. So this strike is completely different from the strike I just mentioned against the city of Philadelphia. More than 2,000 workers are striking nationwide against a specific company called Republic Services in what the Teamsters Union calls a war against the second largest sanitation company in North America. So the strike began earlier this month, July 2025, when over 400 members of Teamsters Local 25 walked off the job across 14 Massachusetts communities and after their contract had expired. And the strike, that vote was passed by more than 90% of their membership. Despite Republic's $16 billion revenue in 2024 and $1.18 billion returned to shareholders, the company's wage offer would leave workers earning about $6 less per hour than unionized employees at other sanitation companies. The strike has rapidly expanded to Los Angeles, Ohio, and Washington state, now impacting over 2 million residents. Garbage is piling up in communities across these states as the 9th day of strikes force residents to haul trash to drop-off locations. Republic Services responded with legal action against the union, while 3 municipalities notified the company that it's not meeting their contractual obligations. Teamsters General President Sean O'Brien stated that Republic abuses and underpays workers across the country. They burn massive profits and funnel money to undeserving corrupt executives. What's the union strategy? Maximize disruption until Republic comes to the table to negotiate fairly. State officials are calling for negotiations as this becomes a test case for privatized essential services. This strike represents more than just wage negotiations. It's a battle over worker rights and corporate profits in an industry that's characterized by highly dangerous conditions and modest pay. The resolution will set precedents for labor relations in essential services and whether infrastructure workers can secure the dignity and the compensation that they deserve. Now, with the ugly, there was an Indian waste picker who died from toxic exposure. Back in March, Sunita Devi, a 34-year-old waste picker in Delhi, died from toxic exposure after spending years sorting through electronic waste without protective equipment. Sunita was one of the estimated 1.5 million informal waste pickers in India who handled the majority of the country's recyclable materials. She worked 12-hour days sorting through mountains of trash, including toxic e-waste shipped from wealthy countries. Her death was not an accident. It was a predictable result of a system that relies on the world's poorest people to handle the world's most dangerous waste without any protection or support. Meanwhile, in the US, sanitation workers were on strike in multiple cities, while others refused to cross picket lines at Republic Service sites in Massachusetts, Georgia, Illinois, Washington State, and other locations. That's the stark contrast, folks. In wealthy countries, workers can come together and organize and strike for better conditions. But in developing countries, workers like Sunita die silently, with their deaths barely registering on the global consciousness. This is a true cost of our throwaway society. Human lives are sacrificed to maintain the illusion that our waste just simply disappears. Now, moving on to topic 3 of plastic bag legislation and pollution. The good news here is Kenya's plastic bag ban shows dramatic success. So let's start with one of the world's most successful plastic bag bans. Kenya implemented one of the strictest plastic bag bans globally in 2017. And by 2024, the results have been remarkable. Street vendors now use banana leaves or newspapers, cloth bags. Supermarkets have switched to paper bags and encourage reusable alternatives. But most importantly, the ban has widespread public support because it was implemented with extensive community education and affordable alternatives. Studies show that plastic bag litter in Nairobi has decreased by over 80% since that ban took effect. Marine plastic bag pollution along Kenya's coast has also declined significantly. With beaches that were once covered in plastic bags, they're now largely free of single-use plastic debris. The key to Kenya's success was enforcement combined with alternatives. Violations can result in fines up to $40,000 or even imprisonment. But the government also supported local businesses in developing sustainable packaging alternatives. On to the bad news. New Jersey's plastic bag ban increases other types of plastic waste. So let's look at how good intentions could go wrong here. New Jersey implemented a comprehensive plastic bag ban in 2022, prohibiting single-use plastic bags and polystyrene foam containers, which you would most likely know as styrofoam. On paper, it looked pretty good, like a strong environmental policy, but a 2024 study found that while plastic bag use decreased dramatically, overall plastic waste actually increased in some categories. Many retailers switched to thicker, reusable plastic bags that customers still treated as disposable, and this resulted in more plastic waste per bag. Additionally, online shopping surged during that same time period, bringing massive increases in plastic packaging that wasn't addressed by the bag ban. Some consumers also stockpiled plastic bags before the ban and then continued using them for years afterwards. The lesson here is that piecemeal policies can create unintended consequences. Without a comprehensive plastic reduction strategy, bags can simply shift consumption to other forms of single-use plastic. And now for the ugly. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch continues growing despite global efforts. Now, despite decades of plastic bans, reduction efforts worldwide, the Great Pacific Garbage Patch continues to grow and has now reached twice the size of Texas. I live in Texas, it's big. And now we're looking at twice the size of that. So recent research shows that plastic bags remain one of the most common items in the garbage patch, but they're joined by massive quantities of fishing nets, food packaging, and microplastics from the breakdown of larger debris. Here's why that's truly devastating. Much of the plastic in entering the ocean, even decades ago, it means that it's still there, it's still floating. Even if we stopped all plastic pollution tomorrow, the existing waste would continue circulating through the marine ecosystems for centuries. Marine life continues to suffer catastrophically. Sea turtles mistake plastic bags for jellyfish, seabirds feed plastic fragments to their chicks, and microplastics are now found in fish consumed by humans worldwide, and it's also found in humans' bloodstream and fetal tissue. The Great Pacific Garbage Patch isn't just an environmental disaster, it's a monument to our collective failure to address the root cause of plastic pollution. Every plastic bag ban, every recycling program, every corporate sustainability initiative is dwarfed by the scale of existing ocean plastic pollution. So, what do we do with all this information? The good news shows us that real solutions exist. Revolutionary recycling technologies like BASF's circular nylon can transform entire industries, and workers can win when they organize effectively. And comprehensive plastic bans with proper enforcement can dramatically reduce pollution. The bad news reveals that well-intentioned policies often fail due to poor implementation, lack of enforcement, or unintended consequences. And the ugly truth reminds us that behind every environmental crisis are real human costs: worker deaths, communities drowning in exported waste, and ecosystems collapsing under the weight of our overconsumption. So here's what you can do right now. Let's support companies investing in genuine circular technologies, not just recycling, but true closed loop systems like textile breakthrough systems through BASF and Inditech. Advocate for comprehensive waste policies, not just bag bans, but holistic approaches that address the entire life cycle of products, such as extended producer responsibility legislation for things like electronics, where the manufacturer is required to take back their obsolete and broken items for free, and responsible recycling. Demand worker protections. Environmental justice and labor justice are absolutely inseparable. We can't have a sustainable future built on worker exploitation and eco-colonialism. Support strike efforts like the Teamsters Union with donations to support the workers. And if you're in one of the strike zones, contact Republic Services and demand fair negotiations with the workers in good faith. And you can vote for leaders who actually understand that environmental policy requires enforcement, funding, and cooperation. Don't forget to download my new Kindle book for busy parents who want to reduce waste in the home and save on the monthly budget. Also, subscribe to my Substack for weekly analysis on these critical issues, and sign up for my monthly business zero waste newsletter on LinkedIn for practical actions that you can take immediately. All the links will be in the comment section on YouTube, Facebook, and on LinkedIn. Until then, keep fighting the good fight, and remember that every action matters, and systemic change requires collective action from all of us. All right, that's it for me. Bye now.